Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Punch Drunk Nerd, the podcast where three friends, three amigos, three bambinos come together to talk about nerd shit. I've got a quiet voice tonight because my wife is sleeping and she's got to wake up early. So we're going to have quiet Louise this week, but it's okay. We're coming in hot, doing some podcasts. We got some great topics this week. We got some trailers we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about Quentin Tarantino. We're going to talk about Google. We're going to talk about Fortnite. We're going to talk about Spiderman 2. We have so much to talk about. If you want to go straight to that topic, go down below and just click that link and it'll just drag you to the place you want to go. But hey, before we move on, my name is Luis Gonzalez and with me is
Miguel Sanchez
and Deadpool.
Yeah, everybody. You know, before we kick off on our podcast here, I just want to say, Miguel, you and me are booming on social media.
Stop. That's all you, baby. Okay.
No.
And my homosexual tendencies, apparently.
People are loving you in the comments, man.
And your laughter.
Not me being animated. I was animated, and everyone was like, "Gay."
Which, if anything, just paints a wonderful picture of just the gaming community in general.
It's a spectrum, okay?
It is.
So yeah, we have if you play Fortnite, check out our Instagram post. It is booming. And our YouTube post that's also booming is our Andor. That's hitting up in the high numbers more than we typically get. So we're getting a lot of love from Miguel, a lot of love from Ed, a lot of love from Steven. You know, we're doing pretty good on this podcast.
And you know what? That's not ego talking. It's sincerely, for me, just surprise. I'm like, wow, look at us. We got some good views, you know?
You know what's funny is for both of those, I was almost like, nah, let's not do it. And then we fucking did it. And
so it's those. That's how that's the formula.
It made me want to, like, you guys remember that one, that our previous post about it, where somebody was like, oh yeah, you should post more of these.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I should have made a post of that instead of just sharing it on our story. It's a big mistake.
Now we know.
Well, you can repost it again if you wanted to. Who gives a fuck?
Oh, that's true. That's true. I just want. I mean, you don't want to retrospectively.
I just want the audience to know that we might accidentally slide into more Fortnite content. Oops. You know.
Yeah.
Now that we all know how to share our screen, right, Ed?
I haven't done it yet, but now I know. Now I know. I wasn't sharing shit from last night, that's for sure.
Now we know. Yeah?
We know. Now we got an understanding.
We're doing pretty good on our podcast here. You know, we're thriving. Everyone's clicking, hey, Punch Drunk Nerd, what is that? But for some platforms, they're regressing. Speaking of regression, let's talk about Max. Max is now, some of you used to call it HBO Max. Well, good thing for you is that Max is no longer Max. It has returned back to HBO Max. Guys, what are your thoughts on this reversal?
Some would say we're taking it to the max. That's
by going back to HBO.
Yeah, hell yeah. You know what? Good. No one in this podcast, no one outside of this podcast, who was like, excuse me, it's called Max.
And then what was the first one? HBO Now?
It was HBO Go, then HBO Now, and then HBO Max, and then Max, and then HBO Max. And it's funny is if you go on their Instagram, they are just like dogging on themselves, which is really, really funny.
No, that's so fun.
Yeah. I like that they're aware of what's happening.
It's like, guys, we're sorry.
For people who are like, why the fuck did they switch it to Max? I mentioned it a long time ago, but I'm going to bring it back for context. Time to get serious on this podcast. But when Discovery bought Warner Brothers, because Warner Brothers was sinking in debt with AT&T, they were like, all right, we got Discovery. We got all this garbage shows from Food Network to all these. I watch a lot of Food Network. But anyway, we have all this reality content, TLC, Food Network, blah, 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 blah. We're gonna mix it with HBO Max, and we're gonna make it global because the HBO Max brand, before it was Max, was only America, like only United States. Okay. In the United States, we love HBO. Let's go. But apparently when they started, they're like, well, HBO isn't like a global brand in the sense that if somebody hears HBO, they're like, oh, isn't that place that has like porn on all their stuff? You know, like, you know, there's like boobies and like F words and everything. So they wanted more like a family friendly platform that could go for all four quadrants, you know? So they were like, let's just drop the HBO name and call it Max so that it's more accepting. And then 2 years later, they realized that I heard a podcast. They were like, yeah, people don't come for that. People come for our HBO content.
Oh, wait, the HBO.
Yeah. And so now they've realized, like, even with, because the big thing was like in streaming with Netflix, everybody was like, let's just pump all this content, and people will stay. But, and so when Discovery bought Warner Brothers and HBO Max, they were like, oh, we have a shit ton of content. We're going to rule. But people were like, no, bro, we just like HBO and we only want that.
Wasn't it shortly after they announced the Max thing, when they were pouring out shows, they were determining like, this is an HBO series, like emphasizing that, trying to still discern that kind of level of, quality, whereas everything else was like a Max series or something like that.
Like The Pit, which is a medical show, that's considered a Max series. And the more quote unquote prestigious ones are the HBO series. So
they tried to keep it lingering, but if people, we're dum-dums. Audiences need visuals. They need association. It's like, this is a Netflix series. This is HBO. Like,
well, especially with all of the streaming services, right? Like the branching out of all of these, it's like you have a branded name already. Like, why are we steering away from
the most?
Arguably the best, one of the best and earliest in the streaming platforms. Like, why are we going like drop the HBO?
They thought it was a toxic, like not family friendly title. You know what I mean? But it wasn't. That's what people want, because HBO Max doesn't just have HBO stuff. Even before Discovery bought it, it had a bunch of other kind of content that Warner Brothers owned.
Warner Brothers, everything Warner Brothers, DC, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
It had its own subculture that everybody I felt like was aware of. You didn't have to call it HBO Warner or HBO Bros.
Exactly.
That was a missed opportunity. HBO Bros.
Yeah.
There's a good line in there somewhere, but you get my drift. Yeah.
All right. Well, HBO Max is now HBO Max, so good for them. Now, we were talking earlier about how we're playing Fortnite like dogs. All right, we're posting stuff about Fortnite. We're posting Fortnite content like crazy, and by crazy I mean one post. But recently, if you've been following Fortnite,
we're playing it.
We're playing it. Recently, Fortnite added Darth Vader. Now, if you don't know, they have a Star Wars theme this month. You better start playing because it's almost done. But they introduced Darth Vader. And if you can get Darth Vader, he is an AI Darth Vader, right? So you can, this is the first time Fortnite's ever done this. You can communicate with him and he'll talk back to you. Clearly, they're going to start doing this more often. But there was a huge issue because it is the James Earl Jones voice, like the actual guy who did Darth Vader. He gave permission. He's like, hey guys, take my voice, use it however you want. But SAG, the Screen Actors Guild, was like, whoa, bro, you didn't tell us you were doing this shit. So we're going to file, what is this called? Damn, I put an acronym and I don't even know what this fucking is. Let's see. Unfair labor practice filing. So they're going to be like kind of a lawsuit, I guess. I'm not a legal person, but they're like, hey, bro, you need to tell us before you do this shit. But then like James Earl Jones's like estate was like, we're fine with it. And then, so anyway, I thought I'd bring that up too.
I think it's an interesting point because you could talk about Robin Williams. Robin Williams, before he died, was like, I do not want to lend my voice to the genie in Aladdin. Mm-hmm. And he was like, I'm not going to do that when I die. Like, that's the end of it. And I think this is like a juxtaposition to James Earl Jones, who was like, I will allow it. And also the talk is because the voice is so iconic to the character, and I think it's interesting to be like, he gave permission. He was like, yes, this is okay. But then we just had the strikes, which was just like very anti-AI. Like we want real people in here. And there probably is somebody that could come out and be like, I'm a pretty close James Earl Jones voice, and I could do this. So I kind of see both sides of the coins to that. Sorry, it's fixing his hair. He's so beautiful. And I just think that it's like a tricky situation, you know? It's one of those moments where the forks cross and you're like, wait, I kind of am having fun with him being James Earl Jones, Darth Vader. This is a good thing, but you know, I don't know.
Yeah, I think I'd be curious to know what happened if Fortnite did reach out to SAG and be like, "We're doing this. We also have permission." And I don't know if it's just SAG being upset, like you didn't tell us. You know,
like Peter getting mad at any kind of animal association with any movie. Like
Peter,
you remember
Peter,
Peter, yeah.
I thought you were saying Peter Griffin from Fortnite. I was like, I think they're fine with that.
They were up in arms about the misrepresentation of rats in Nosferatu. And it's like, no, those fuckers did spread disease, so shut the fuck up. So I don't know, just like kicking up to kick up for the sake of kicking up, right. Protesting and shit like that. Not that I know SAG has done a lot for its community.
I have a question. So you guys have probably seen all the videos where everyone's like giggling at the AI Darth Vader, like, oh, sand, oh, Padme, oh, and then they like try to make him say bad words and like, how big is your dick? You know what I mean? Like they try to be like goofy with it. I like for a second, I haven't gotten to play with Darth Vader, but I kind of want to like lock the fuck in, you know?
Dude.
Like when I play with Darth Vader, I want to be like, on my left, all right, you know what I mean? Like, hey, check my six, you know what I mean? Hey, fling the lightsaber, you know what I mean? Like, I want him on the team in a way that a bot has never been on the team before, you know? I'm not here for jokes. I'm here to fucking get the crown, all right?
But also jokes.
But it's got to be worth the bit, you know what I mean? Like, y'all saw that video where the guy was like, throw the car at them, and then Darth Vader like throws the car and then he like captures the win. Like that's what I want. I want him to be useful, but also part of the team, you know?
Like, right. Make him feel welcome.
You got
in the way that I say thank you to Alexa, I want Darth Vader to feel welcome. Yes, that's right.
Oh man. Yeah, I feel like I worked with some coworker we played and he got Darth Vader. Luckily I was on his team, so I got to play with him for a little bit, but they really toned him down from like when you first heard him, when he was like freaking fucking gooding, and like they got rid of all that.
Ed got punched with a double download the other day because it was like, I think what was happening was in between them releasing Darth Vader and then them patching Darth Vader, and he had to download them both while he was trying to hop on the game.
Which is bullshit, because Ed has a PlayStation 4. We have PlayStation 5s. We can auto-update. For some reason, Ed has to pay to have that ability.
Yeah.
Is that what it is, Miguel?
Right. I think so. He has to like... Go ahead.
You can't do it whilst it's in rest mode. And from what I understand, you have to be...
a PlayStation Plus member?
That one. And,
God forbid you pay $11 a month, Ed.
God forbid I'm just not that kind of a gamer. You know, I can't justify that.
You say that until you are, though. You know what I mean?
Until I am.
Get you that one auto download, and you'll be like, "Well, here's $11. Okay, let me make sure I can get." You know, it's not just Fortnite; it's FIFA. Okay,
we're trying to get him to do Fortnite crew for $11. So the PlayStation.
It's honestly our fault. Why did we give them a PS4? You know, we should have just broken our backs. We should have given them a PS5 Pro. Okay.
No. I mean, see, that's the thing is like, I hate to complain about anything because you guys have been so utterly generous in the last year with not only that, but also like Fortnite skins, because Miguel likes to match whenever we play. In case
I do.
Miguel does like a very collective team in every sense, like same uniform.
You know what?
If
Steven the other day told me that too. He was someone else and he was like, no, who are you trying to be? And I was like, no, Steven gets it. Like you want to dress up. We have the skins, so let's do it.
Yeah. But there's also potential for fun mishmash. You know what I mean?
No, that's true too. But it's got to be coordinated.
And it just so happens that Sarah utterly enjoys my flamingo skin.
And I got that flamingo one too. When you had that flamingo skin, I was like, motherfucker, because I wanted to get that one. I wanted to get that one, and then when they came back, I was like, maybe I could get the other bird, like because there's like 6 birds or whatever. Yeah. And then when it came down to it, I was like, fuck it. No, I wanted that pink flamingo because of his eyes, and I'm fine with that.
If you want to all be pink flamingos, like I'll get it the next time it comes around. But I just think in general, you got to squawk up. You know what I mean? You got to be ready to go.
Birds of a feather.
Birds of a feather.
So that's about AI Darth Vader. Speaking about more AI stuff, Google had their I.O. presentation. And they did a lot of reveals, and AI was a huge topic, obviously, because AI is everywhere now. And they talked about Google VO3, and the biggest thing that came out of that was, these AI videos that come out you're seeing on Instagram, no sound, right? Just video. Now you can incorporate videos with sound, and it's not just dialogue. You also get sound effects, background, little noises to fill up the area. So they're really kind of pushing the lead. And they also have this thing called Gemini Live, which is a competitor to ChatGPT. I was actually playing with both of them, asking them the same question and seeing them respond. They both do respond differently. I haven't decided which one is better, but I will say it's like, wow, Apple is in the dust here because their smart, whatever the fuck that is fucking terrible. Like it gets to the point where they're like, oh, I don't know how to do this. Would you like me to link this to ChatGPT? And you're like, yeah, motherfucker, you're useless. Like
you should have already had yours.
So we have Apple in the behind, Google catching up. But as fearful as I was about all this, about like, oh my God, this is getting pretty crazy, and bots are everywhere. Even Instagram comments, you can't even tell who's who or what's real. Google also had this feature where it's like able to scan something and be able to tell if something is real or not. And I'm like, I'm glad at least we're having this conversation, or at least putting the seed in our head to be like, we need to be able to identify what is real and what's not, because it's going to be bad.
I think because there is that urge to be ahead of the crowd on this one, like ahead of the competition, and I think we're running a very dangerous risk of casting aside those kind of doubts and those concerns about the whole thing for the sake of convenience or fast results, and to a point where it kind of gets out of control. So it's nice that they are, as you say, having that, like putting that in the thought process as well. Because I think it does need to have that balance. The more it's blowing up, we do need to rein it in at the same time.
And there are different things that this is used for. Like they also are introducing this new live camera feature where you can point it at things and it'll explain to you. But it's like, say you're blind and you can literally point it, and then it'd be like, oh, there's a tree here and it looks very tall and whatever. Or if you need help with something, you can scan it, it'll look at it, and it'll use Google to like identify what it is. So, there's translation now that's happening where you can have a conversation with somebody over FaceTime and they'll like translate in real time. There's the good and the bad, so it was very crazy to see how it was a big jump to see the big change, and also how you can edit these videos so that it keeps the prior information, because sometimes when you do AI videos and you make a new quote unquote scene, it will look different. That's like kind of the biggest problem. But now it's like, no, the next scene or the next cut will look the same as the previous thing. And so it's getting crazy. I just wanted to bring it up. That's all. But I can move on because I'm the AI. I'm the tech guy in this podcast.
Wait, I've got a few thoughts. Hang on, real quick. First off, I was blown away by the price points. Okay, so like there was like a basic Gemini price point, which was like $29 a month, but you can go for like the Pro. Is it Gemini, Luis? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Gemini. Yeah.
And then I think there was a Pro version, which was $250 a month.
Yeah. Okay. So it's Gemini Pro and Gemini Ultimate is what you're talking about.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Okay. So it's like, that is That is incredible. And so I want to talk about a few things. So you talk about ChatGPT, you talk about Gemini, you talk about Apple Intelligence, and then you have to go, who is the most in the forefront of this technology? And who are you willing to, like, imagine your Adobe Photoshop subscription that you're already mad about paying about, which is like $120 a month. You know what I mean? Like, what are you willing to spend for AI? And I think that's a really big question. And I think it's also interesting to talk about how iPhone used to be the forefront of the smartphone game. And now Apple is catching up to AI. You know what I mean? We're in an era. You know what I'm saying?
We are.
But also, I just like recently watched a video that kind of broke down how AI, as far as like global climate change is concerned. And it's like, it's not just your phone deciding what AI is. It's like a whole like computer bank in a whole country that like has like water and electricity resources. So it's like AI is like this whole, it's not just this one little thing on your one little screen. It is millions and billions of people all accessing it at once. And so I just think it's really interesting where we're going and how we get there.
Yeah.
So
you're bringing up a good point about the water consumption. I didn't know about this until like 2 weeks ago or something, about how there are gallons and gallons of water that is used to process this information.
Yes.
Because the computers run so hot, so they have to have water to cool it down, which is then becoming a like climate thing, like a planet issue.
Like, imagine if you live outside of LA or Houston or Denver or whatever. Imagine you live in the tiny little town where the AI center is built, and all of your water is being diverted from your drinking source to your computer source. You know?
Yeah,
that's a big deal.
And it brings up the question about too, like, and I wish we had someone who's knowledgeable about it. Maybe I'll ask Gemini, ChatGPT. But no, it's like, yes, things are getting better and more powerful, but if we keep maxing this out, when will it be like detrimental to us? Like, will we be able to get to that point where it's
and it's also convincing people to stop once they've got it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
People's priorities are all kinds of fucked. Like, way fucked.
Yeah, people priorities are fucked. People are spending their money on places where they shouldn't. But I'll tell you one thing that isn't fucked up. Sinners. You know that movie Sinners?
Hell yeah. Come on in.
Okay. All right. So people are spending money on franchises like crazy. People love to do it because it's dependable, it's easy. But Sinners has finally broken a record. It is the highest grossing original movie since 2019. I think the last original movie before that was Jordan Peele's Us.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I just thought like, wow, that's pretty fucking cool. Wanted to bring it up, just giving, their flowers to fucking Sinners.
I mean, maybe it's a good time to mention it. I don't know. But obviously we've been monitoring the summer movie wager box office and everything.
Oh, yeah. Yes, Ed.
And the way that movie has been just hanging around with the top movies right now ever since its release has been pretty great. Like, can't help but feel just like both relieved and excited for Ryan Coogler in that sense, because when it first came out, they were saying, so many tabloids were just saying like, oh, is it going to make enough money to pay back the studio and shit like this? This is a risk and stuff like that. But domestically, especially, it's done very well. It's currently at 244 million domestic and 321 million worldwide. So it's doing.
It's almost like if it could only come out this summer, I know,
like that would have shooken.
We could have had a really good.
Yeah, I mean the fact that it is kind of like neck and neck between Thunderbolts and Sinners on a daily basis. Even this last weekend, it almost overtook Thunderbolts.
I mean, I'll tell you this: I want to see Thunderbolts again at home. I want to go see Sinners in the theaters.
The theaters, man.
It's a theater. It's a theater experience, and maybe that's why they didn't do the summer, because they wanted to dominate that IMAX screening. The premium large formats, the PLFs.
We've learned.
If they're in the summer, they would have lost it like the following week. Like now, Mission Impossible is coming out. Well, Mission Impossible is out.
And you know what? What's crazy is on social media, we are still talking about Sinners. Like it is every day. Like obviously, like the weekend it came out, the weekend after, the month after. Okay, wow, this is really good. But here we are, like way into the release. It's already out of theaters, in theaters, out of theaters kind of vibe. And there is still every day at least one thread where someone is like, wait, what about Sinners? I'm like, damn, like we are still talking about that movie.
Literally over a month after it released.
I mean, people are like, what about this theory? What about this theory? And then Reels and TikToks left and right. Like that movie is going to dominate this year.
And they kept expanding its IMAX run because it was doing so well in that format.
Did you guys see that clip? Did you guys see that clip where, Tom Cruise is clipping it up right now because of Mission Impossible? But did you guys see that one clip where someone was like, the guy mentioned something about Sinners and he was like, you know what we got to do? We got to get it in theaters in July and in August. And I'm like, wait, who is we, Tom Cruise? Like, who are you in relation to this like movie coming out? Like, does he just run? Like, he just runs Hollywood. He's like, you know what?
That's right.
Let's get it out again. Okay?
He says he does something, that man's going to do it.
I mean, I agree. I understand, but I was just kind of surprised that he was like, you know what we need? An August release. And it was like, okay, Tom, I guess.
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean, they'll probably push for that, like, look for award season. They'll probably do a re-release as well.
And I'll be in the theater watching it at my Dolby theater. All right.
Hell yeah. I just found out that, or you guys told me, I believe, they're opening up a new IMAX near me.
Hell
as well as the one that's already right next to me.
Yeah.
So,
I love that.
Bravo, Sinners. We're happy for you.
We love the movies. Tom Cruise loves the movies. Speaking of movies, we got the Cannes Film Festival. Now, we're not going to talk too much about this because it's currently still going on. Yeah. But we just want to let you know, tune in soon. We're going to have a Cannes-filled episode. But next week, we are going to do a lot of Mission Impossible talk. We're going to review Mission Impossible. We're going to rank Mission Impossible. We're going to be in it. Check that out next week. We're going to move on to our next section here called Coming Soon Corner. Ed, you put this in here. Why don't you tell us what's coming soon?
Yeah. Okay, so we're all fans of QT, the old Quentin Tarantino.
Little QT.
Talking to Cannes, he was showed up there for a little bit. So instead of, making his 10th and final movie, as he's been talking about for a couple of decades now, he's decided to retroactively do a making of series.
You know what? He's kind of on his George R.R. Martin. You know what I mean? Where he does anything but finishes his goal.
He backed himself into a corner, and now he's trying to worm his way out of it.
I'll write a book.
I'll just write several. I'm going to go back and write about all of... So, what this is, he's made a book deal to make a series of the making of each of his films, starting with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which was obviously his most recent one. And he plans to go back, I guess, in order, starting with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and just release a making of book, a nice coffee table book for each one, which I don't know about you guys, but I like a good...
Yeah,
I've got several.
Okay, I got a question. You can only choose one fucking coffee book. All right, table coffee
Quentin Tarantino
from Tarantino?
Yeah, from his collection here. Which one are you buying?
Oh, man, you guys know my answer.
Jackie
Once
Brown.
Upon a Time?
Oh, you guys don't know my answer. Okay.
Mine would be Inglourious Bastards.
That's a good
one. That's a really
good one.
I think it would be fun. What is yours, Miguel, or what is yours, Luis?
I was going to say, I think between all of us, we all have a different one, and that's kind of fun because we could all share them.
Totally.
Yeah.
I'm really torn because my top two Tarantino movies are Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and Jackie Brown. I definitely want to see one of each of those. But if I had to pick one, it would probably be Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, because I was like fully Tarantino. You know, like Jackie Brown was an adaptation, but Jackie Brown is like maybe my favorite Tarantino movie. So
yeah, I was just thinking, like, just imagine the pages in the Jackie Brown book. You know,
I mean,
the lush colors and the
blues.
God,
that's going to be a good looking book.
I mean, it's one of his best movies, to be honest. So
the other one I would be torn between. It would be Jackie Brown, but I would honestly like one about the Kill Bill movies too.
You can't argue against it. You know?
So now we're talking about me. That's what it would be. The Kill Bill movies. Like,
that's really okay.
And now I could be like, "Hey Ed, send me yours. Luis, I'll send you mine." You know what I mean? Like we could rotate. These would be good. These would be good books. I'm looking forward to it. Kill Bill would be a good one though, because you've got the animated sequence, you've got all the stunts going on. I'll tell you, would be a lot of fun.
One picture that'll probably be like over 2 pages or something is going to be her in that blue. Oh shit, her in that blue silhouette. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fighting
the Crazy 88.
Yeah,
is it the Crazy 88? Yeah,
because they're crazy. No, this is super exciting. I can't wait to buy one of these books on Amazon.
Sorry,
well, I think we talked about
one. Oh,
sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say real quick. The first one drops November 22nd. I don't know what the price is yet.
$56. I'm going to guess
for a coffee table book. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I got that Maestro one, which is gorgeous, by the way. I know you guys don't care about Maestro, but that was like $80.
It's almost like, how many coffee tables do you have? You know?
How many coffee tables do you? Yeah,
I've got one, but I've got my coffee table.
That table can only hold so many books and coffee, is what I'm saying. Like,
at some point, the table will collapse and the books will just become a table.
That's happened. That's happened. I have. I mean, I won't go down that hole, but it's currently in my entertainment system. My prized ones, anyway. Cool story, right?
Entertainment. I love entertainment. You know what? Every entertainment movie has trailers. Let's talk about trailers, Ed. What's happening with the trailer talk?
Let's do it. Okay. Well, we were talking about it earlier, but that fucking prestigious streaming site that we all love, HBO, is releasing yet another mystery thriller, crime thriller show from the makers of Mayor of Easttown. So releasing can I say the title, Miguel? Let me get the title out. Fuck.
It makes me so mad. It makes me so mad.
Okay. So the show is called Task. And it's about, in the working class suburbs of Philadelphia, an FBI agent heads a task to put an end to a string of violent robberies led by an unsuspecting family man. Go ahead, Miguel, just get it out.
Can I complain for a second? Because the last few weeks, the Superman trailer came out, and everyone goes, "Oh, actually, I'm not watching that trailer." The week before that, the Grand Theft Auto trailer came out. "Oh, actually, I'm not watching that right now." Okay. This week was the Jurassic World trailer. "Oh, actually, I'm not watching that trailer this week, but I would love to watch the Task, the sequel to Tusk." Okay. I get your preferences, but like, can we sometimes watch the big trailers? You know,
wait.
The audience wants to know. Okay.
Sure. Okay. So
like sometimes watch a trailer even if you don't want to watch it. I get it. Okay. I understand. Okay.
We'll get to the Jurassic World one in a minute.
No, I know we will. Okay. But when we get there, it'll be like, oh, actually, I didn't fucking watch that trailer because. Oh,
reasons.
I was trying to watch.
Okay, but Task
for some reason, Zootopia 2.
Yeah, because it's a teaser trailer.
Is what we're calling
did you watch that fucking thing? It's a very brief trailer. Yes, I did, actually. I watched all the other trailers.
For some reason, we're talking about a show called Caught Stealing. Never heard about that, but okay.
That's a movie.
Let's go watch the Jurassic...
Okay, where's he going? I threw this on there because one, yes, we always have trailers for movies. This is, this is a show. I wanted to mix it up a little bit. It's also an HBO show. We like
Mark Ruffalo is a cop. What do you guys think?
It's funny is when I was watching The Last of Us, this trailer came up, and I was like, this would actually be something to bring up in the podcast. Never mind. And then you came in and you put it in the trailer. But you know what? I'm happy you did. I think the people need to know Mark Ruffalo is coming out with an HBO, because some people don't want to watch movies; they want to watch shows.
And so if you
like Mark Ruffalo, you like mysteries and detective stuff.
Yeah,
it's coming on HBO Max.
Hey, you know what? Mark Ruffalo, he's actually been a pretty good cop in a lot of movies. Collateral, Zodiac. You know what I mean? Like Mark Ruffalo, he wasn't a cop in that one, but you know what I mean. He was investigative. No, he was a cop in that one.
He was a cop.
Yeah, he was also. Wasn't he? Was he investigating the Catholic thing too? The priests.
That's right. Preacher Boys.
He was a journalist. Yeah.
He was a journalist. Well, he's still investigating. He's still trying to find a mystery.
And a lot of people say that was one of the best scenes of the movie, is when he has his little outburst.
That's what got him that Oscar nomination. You know.
I'm saying. So I mean, Mark Ruffalo, he's not just the Hulk. Okay, he can do. Some good stuff. I just have a bone to pick. Okay, like
I appreciate that.
Sometimes
we're going to get to your cunt fucking point here in a moment. So also coming out, as we all well know,
speaking of bones,
talking of bones, Jurassic World Rebirth is coming out this summer.
I'll tell you what, I didn't watch the trailer. I just thought this movie looks like ass.
You didn't watch this trailer?
No, of course I fucking watched it, okay?
Look,
Ed, why didn't you watch it? Actually, I'm very curious about why you didn't watch it.
My reasons wasn't because I'm being precious about it. It's more like, okay, I did watch the first trailer. I've seen that first trailer a lot. And there is this sense growing, like, between in our family, like, are we going to go see this? Is this going to be our daughter's first Jurassic Park film? I'd rather it not be, but she keeps talking about it. And
you should just show her the first Jurassic Park and be like, that's the one.
I showed her the trailer for both.
I would just say, your daughter, hang on a second. This is a whole conversation. I'm not trying to talk over you, but can I just say, like, from my experience,
yes,
we watched Jurassic World with the boy. That was like the first one we watched. And I know that's not my favorite. That's not the one I want to do.
No, yeah.
But it was like the most, for me, family friendly, like Jurassic Park movie was Jurassic World. Like,
which he was able to. The only reason why I'm even considering. Like this newer one.
I want to see the new one, but he saw the trailer and he was like, that's too scary. And he doesn't want to watch it.
Well, see, that's helpful. But like my thought was, like, if that does end up happening, my expectations are already so low for this movie.
That's what I'm saying.
I understand, like, they're showing a lot more of the mutant dinosaurs creating. And I was just like, well, if this is going to have any surprises, I might as well try and keep it at bay as long as I can.
Can I tell you this,
though? I can enjoy the fucking movie if I do go and see it.
I totally agree. And I watched this trailer going into that, like, with that in mind.
Okay.
And I feel like it just, like, imagine all of the scenes they showed in the first trailer. They went like a half second more on all of those.
On each
one. They were like, oh, here's the...
Okay, hold on. Are we getting
forehead.
Hold on. Are we getting into the critique of this trailer now?
Well, no, I'm not trying to. I'm sorry. I'm really just like, I'm trying to, because, like, Luis, let's be honest. You'll see it, you won't see it.
No,
but
hold
on. But if Ed is like, I'm going to take my kid to see a movie, then that's like a whole different dialogue that I'm ready to have. You know what I mean?
Okay, well, let me just say something real. Okay. So I saw the first scene of this thing, of the Jurassic World Rebirth trailer, and I was like, what the fuck? Is this Jurassic World? Is that what I'm watching right now?
Mm-hmm.
Felt completely tonally different from everything else I saw from the first trailer. And like, after seeing that first scene, you know what? Yeah, in a good way. Yeah, it was kind of good. In fact, this trailer made me like the first trailer, not into the movie at all. This trailer, you know what? You kind of got me a little bit more into it. And I will say, after seeing that first scene, do not bring your daughter, because that was very, like, I could see that being very scary.
I would tell you this. So from the first trailer was like very Jurassic World. The second trailer was very Jurassic World 2, which tried to play up the horror movie angle.
Oh, I see.
But then I saw Jurassic World 2, and I was like, this might be the worst movie of the franchise. And then they fucked it up more. Okay. So this is one of those things like.
It's a Gareth Edwards Godzilla scene. Remember when they're like, let me out?
Which is good.
It had that vibe going into it,
So let me ask this. Do you think purely to like test the waters, maybe I should let Lily watch this one and then really determine from there?
No, I would say if you're testing waters, you have a whole streaming service which has all of the sorry, I'm not being silly. You have all of the streaming services that have all of the Jurassic Park movies from 1 to whatever 7.
Right.
You have all of them. And then I would say watch the one at home, because Ed, of all of us, you're the one that's like, no, you're going to watch the whole movie, right?
Yes.
So pick the one at home. I would argue that Jurassic World at this present day is like a good family one, but I also have really been pushing the original one. Like, do the whole movie and then go, yeah, I'll go to the theater and watch this movie. Because why are you spending the money if they're just going to like run around the entire time being like, this sucks, I'm bored, I'm scared, I don't want to be here. You know what I mean?
Right. I won't, like, I'll be pissed off if I have to leave it. Like, if I go and see it.
And I've done that. Okay.
Yeah. Hey, our kids are.
It happens.
But yeah, it's like, they're the dial. Like, if they don't want to watch that movie, what are we going to do? We can't force them to watch it. So, yeah, maybe that's a better way to go about it. And like I said, she's about to turn 7. She's been talking about
she's
the new
a little
one a
older.
lot.
Yeah.
She's talking about the new one a lot. But, we also have tried other movies of a similar tone,
Godzilla?
I guess.
Godzilla.
No, she loves the Godzilla and Kong movies. But like,
and see, I don't think this one is that.
We tried to get her to watch Raiders of the Lost Ark, and she wasn't into it.
I just started getting my son to watch Star Wars. Okay, like I tried to get him to watch the old Star Wars movies because I'm like doing it for you, both of you. Okay, and I just think like there is a little bit of like they're not there. It's.
I'm trying to think of the time when I watched Star Wars and when I literally thought like I had my fake lightsaber.
Well, I told him.
I was watching it and I was like, I'm part of the movie. I'm a Jedi too.
I've been telling him that Star Wars, Jurassic Park, Homeward Bound, okay?
Indiana Jones.
I'm like, Indiana Jones. I'm like, we're about to watch these movies. So you're old enough now, okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
But, we'll get there when we get there.
In their time, yeah, I want to go on that journey, but I wanted to enjoy it. I mean, the first Star Wars movie I ever saw was Return of the Jedi, and it blew my fucking mind. And by the end, I was dancing along with the Ewoks to Yup Nup. We took her to go see the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi. She enjoyed it. Then we took her to see Phantom Menace in theater.
Did she watch it?
Oh yeah, she loved it.
He fell asleep.
Oh no. Well, that's okay. Yeah. Sleepy boy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
He has seen the Star Wars movies.
My daughter would not stay. Like, she would not fall asleep for anything. Like, she is determined.
Hell yeah, brother.
Trying to get like the old like, I'll let them fall asleep in front of a movie. Does not fucking happen with her.
No, you've mentioned that before, and that is not my kid. Like, he falls asleep so fast. Like, we picked him up from school and we went to dinner, and he fell asleep in the 5-minute car ride, and then like slept through all of dinner.
It's just
that. Like, but then I'm like you, where I'm like, no, we're gonna go watch this movie. We watched Star Wars at home. He fell asleep on me the other night. We're getting into the weeds here. Sorry, I'm just kind of, Ed and I could talk about parenthood.
Well, what I love about this topic is we're dealing with kids and their type of movies that they watch, kid movies, and you know what? It's a movie that kids can watch. Zootopia 2. All right,
hey,
Folia do. They just released a teaser trailer for that. Honestly, it's just nothing revealed. It's just the characters dancing around, and
which I loved.
Yeah.
I was on board. Like, okay, this is a vibe. This is a party.
Have you seen the rumors? Have you seen the predictions already about that movie?
I didn't know there was some flying. No.
They're saying that the fox and the bunny, that since they weren't wearing their police uniforms, that they're now actually they've graduated and are detectives.
Yeah, I was thinking the whole time. I was like, they're kind of doing like a Zootopia meets Miami Vice.
7. Oh.
Can you imagine?
What's in the box?
She's like, "What's in the fox?
What's in the fox?" Yeah, I don't really have much to say.
I thought it was a fun teaser trailer without like giving anything away. It just fun vibes, and you got let's see, Kei Kwan is joining this one. I want to say he's the snake, but I don't know. I mean,
why would you say that?
What do you mean?
No, go ahead.
I like the first movie and the little Disney short series that they did that tied in with it was a lot of fun too. Yeah, that was a lot of fun too.
Zootopia.
Oh. Zootopia.
Zootopia, yeah.
Zootopia.
That's good too. That's good too.
All right, well, there you go. That movie comes out November 26th of this year.
Great. This one, talk about this movie.
Doing all the work today. All right, so the next one is a movie adaptation of a book called Caught Stealing, brought to you from Darren Aronofsky. I think we like it, Darren Aronofsky, right?
We like a good Darren.
Yeah. So this one is his latest one. Starring Austin Butler, Vincent D'Onofrio, Zoe Kravitz, Liev Schreiber, Matt Smith, Regina King.
Yeah, that's right.
You got some great names in there. This is expected to come out August 29th of this year, and it follows burned out ex-baseball player Hank Thompson, played by Austin Butler, unexpectedly finds himself embroiled in a dangerous struggle for survival amidst the criminal underbelly of 1990s New York City.
Austin Butler.
Am I done? Navigate a treacherous underworld he never imagined. Miguel, please proceed.
Austin Butler, baseball, underground. He is going to beat someone with a bat, okay? Like, right?
That's yes. Yeah. Did you watch the trailer? No.
But he does? He does, right?
He gears up to hit somebody with one.
Watch him. He does one of these to, like, grip. Like, oh, but he's about to kill somebody. All right.
He also gets his ass handed to him a couple of times.
Does.
It looks like
in
for Darren Aronofsky and a glove, he catches a ball. This looks like surprisingly fun and offbeat for a kind of Darren Aronofsky movie.
Yeah,
I don't know. What do you feel? About
when I was watching, I was like, "Is this a Coen film?" You know what I mean? The way how fun it was, and he plays it off like Raising Arizona. The way that like Nicolas Cage is acting, like the way he kind of has this like, I don't know. This
you got the Hebrew gangsters. You got the different factions. You got Matt Smith as like a punk.
All right, now let's talk about Matt Smith. I appreciated everything about this movie except for Matt Smith. I can't take that seriously what he's doing. You know,
like in general, like the actor, or just in particular this movie.
When he showed up with a fucking mohawk like that, I was like, "Stop." Okay, I feel like Miguel. Stop.
Miguel, have you seen those pictures?
I mean, I did. It's very grungy. Very grungy.
Yeah,
I couldn't believe it. I was like, "What is this, theater?" You know what I mean? Like it just felt like too fake.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, he pulls it off, I guess.
I don't think he does. That's my point, but that's okay.
Well, I like
everything else. I loved
general,
it.
Yeah.
I loved everything else. It's exciting to see.
Yeah, Ed, real quick. How tall is Matt Smith?
Like, I could
Google it and tell me right now while we're waiting.
I just can't take him seriously here. He looked like this. Just
but it's also one of those things.
5'11".
Oof.
What does that mean?
I mean, that's average, right?
Oh, no.
Not everyone's a big boy like us, Miguel.
No.
What were you going to say?
I was just saying, I was ready to like push him down, but I didn't realize we were going to be serious. Okay, all right. You know,
he looks taller than 5'11".
Yeah, I mean, he's wearing big, grungy boots, and his hair is a foot up.
When the boots add height, yeah, totally. He's 5'11". Yeah.
Well, I don't know what you were getting at with that.
Sorry, I thought I was doing so until I realized. Here we are. Okay, go ahead.
Are you protecting me?
I'm protecting literally everybody. All right.
The average height, man.
That's right.
All right. Well, Caught Stealing, like I said, comes out August something. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. I'll throw it on my anticipated list.
Can I tell you real quick while you're mentioning movies in August? Last thought is that
it's your birthday in August.
Yes, my birthday's in August, but you know what else comes out in August? Is it seemed like seemingly all the kids movies. Every year there's like that like throwaway kids movie comes out in August because it's like exactly right before school comes out. Yeah. And fuck you, Ed, okay? Because no one ever fucking talked about The Bad Guys, okay? And then all of a sudden, my son is like, oh, The Bad Guys, we watched it on fucking Peacock or whatever. And now The Bad Guys 2 comes out on like August 11th. And I'm like, fuck, all right?
Yeah.
But also, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles came out on my birthday a couple of years back, and he wanted to go see it for that one too. And it was like, now all of a sudden, these kids' movies come out, and my son goes, Daddy, let's go see it. And I have to be like, fuck yeah. Yes, let's do it. Hell yeah.
Bad Guys 2, let's go.
Oh, yeah. I thought it was Jason Bateman the entire time. It was fucking Sam Rockwell. Yes, let's go. All right. Bad Guys 2.
Woo. God, I hope it makes money.
So 2 things here. You got to get him to see that Ninja Turtles TV show because it's banging.
I'm ready.
If he likes that movie, dude, they did such a good job of making that TV show. So check that. But then the second thing is Darren Aronofsky. I forgot to say this, but remember when I was talking about AI with Google VO thing?
Oh no!
They are partnering with Darren Aronofsky to make a movie using Google VO AI. And what's crazy about it, and I just realized this, is that if you go to Vegas, they have the Sphere, which is where like the big concerts and stuff. There's one movie that they show at the Sphere, and it's Darren Aronofsky's like Earth movie or whatever. So it's just like he's kind of like James Cameron, where he's like testing out new technology and really trying to push things to the limit. Where
not the trajectory I saw Darren Aronofsky's career taking.
Well, you know what? You see things like The Fountain or like Working for a Dream, like the way he's able to utilize the camera and just certain techniques with it. It's like he's trying something.
I hate you. Okay. The way that earlier today I was like, oh, Apple's catching up with like Google and this and that, and then the way you were like Darren Aronofsky, and then the Sphere in Vegas, I'm like, fuck. And then you said James Cameron. No, okay, like no, he's pushing the shit forward. Okay. It can't be anyone else. God damn it. All right.
So this is the program where we talk about what we're into. But unfortunately, I have to step away for a quick second to medicate my cat because he's on antibiotics and he has to give it.
Can I talk about Spider-Man while we do this? What if this is like the Spider-Man segment?
So I'm going to step away.
So I get to hear every bit of it. Yeah. And
I'll be real quick, you fuck. All right. Actually, hey,
before you actually kick off, I'm kind of glad you mentioned it because I am also thinking about jumping on Spider-Man myself for the first time. I don't know. I think I have the first one.
I would tell you this: if you're gonna do it, do 1 to 2. Okay, because 2 is an upgrade that like you can't really go back from because we just did that tonight.
Yeah, right.
Where we finished 2 and then we hopped onto 1 for fun,
and it wasn't. Yeah,
it's not it. It's good. It's number 1 is the best game. But
okay.
But as far as like gameplay and like fun,
yeah, right.
Like 2 is a level up. Okay?
1, yeah. I'm pretty sure it is 1. Our friend Sean Carter loaned it to me.
It's a great game. Great story.
I remember. So, but no, it's been sitting there, and obviously I got into like The Last of Us and Fortnite and stuff. So, I haven't.
So you're kind of thinking about like, should I play a game?
Like instead of, or when I wrap up The Last of Us, maybe I can. But like as a
you're coming around to like single player games, maybe,
right? And maybe as a more kid friendly one too is helpful.
Yes, yeah.
I think like Spider-Man is obviously something that
absolutely
Lily will eat up. So, because God knows I can't play the Batman games in front of her.
Sure. And I would say this, that Spider-Man 2 is a game that my son and I played on replay recently because he grew up a little bit. He watched the Spider-Man movies and he was like, I want to play the game. He remembered me playing the game. He was like, oh yeah, and Venom shows up here. And Peter Parker here, Miles Morales and Mary Jane. Like he like knew all those moments. And then he was like, after we beat the game, he goes, can we play Spider-Man, like the first game? And I put it on and he goes, oh. And I was like, yeah. But also, gameplay-wise, maybe a letdown. But story-wise, I think Spider-Man 1 was the better game.
The first Spider-Man, he didn't like the way that the first Spider-Man looked?
I mean, we downloaded on the PS4 version, okay? And if you go from the PS5 Spider-Man 2 to the PS4 Spider-Man 1...
I guess. I feel like they both look the same. I was like,
okay, bitch. No one asked you, all right? Like, you hop on from a 6-year-old perspective, okay? You play that game. I played that game, and I was like, oof, it does not look as good.
Really?
But that's what I wanted to say about Spider-Man 2. So if you're going to hop on, you want to hear it?
No, I'll just rewind it when I edit it.
Fair enough. You fuck. You motherfucker. All right. Dude, I played Spider-Man 2. I talked about it for like a year straight last year. Spider-Man 2 is the better game as far as like the gameplay is concerned. It is traversal, swinging through the city, the fighting, the combat, all of those things are so much more upgraded from the first game. I will say this. The overall story is a slight downgrade, but the thing that really took me out of Spider-Man 2 on this replay was the cutscenes. Oh my God, dude. We watched like a 3-hour cutscene between levels every time we were playing Spider-Man 2. So my son was like, let's play Spider-Man 2 together. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. I will not play this game without you. And then he would be like, let's go to the story. And I'd be like, yeah, this is a real quick level. Let's like hop in it real quick. And then we'd hop into the story level. And then all of a sudden, 2 hours later, he was like, Daddy, you just play it. Like you just get through it. And overall, I just talked about Spider-Man 2 so much. But the thing that really kind of pulled me out of it was the cutscenes. The acting was super melodramatic. And I just kind of got to a point where I was like, with like my son, was like, I just kind of want to get to the game. Like, can I get back to the fighting, the swinging, the flying? Like Spider-Man is... Scott White talked about this one time, our friend Scott White, where he was like, the third Spider-Man movie was a lot of Tobey Maguire with his mask off. And he was like, I don't want to watch a Spider-Man movie with his mask off. I want to watch a Spider-Man movie. And that's kind of how I felt with the game. I was like, I want to play the game. And they kept being like, no, here's a cutscene. And you're like,
here's a movie. Yeah.
Exactly. And I was just like, wow, I talked so positively about this game a year ago or more. And on replay, I was just like, you know what?
Doesn't hold up as well.
Yeah, I would have liked to have mixed a couple of things from the first game and the second game, but the second game didn't quite land on the second game. Do you think
it's two questions?
Go ahead.
Do you think it's purely just from like a replay perspective? You're just kind of like, you want to hurry up and get back to it now that you already know the story?
Yes, I do think that, but I'm also a guy that loves replaying games. Like I have replayed The Last of Us, God of War, you know what I mean? Uncharted. Like I love replaying games. But there was something about this one that I was like, I just kind of like Spider-Man is, for me, Spider-Man isn't about the movie and the game format. Same with Star Wars, right? Like I talk about it all the time. I love a Star Wars video game. I want to swipe that lightsaber. I want to swing those webs.
Right, sure, yeah.
Totally. You know what
I mean? And then my second question was, like, once you've completed it, is there like a lot of like open world playing?
Yes.
Okay.
There's more, and which can be a good thing because you're like, oh, the story's over, but I want the game to continue.
Yeah.
But they take a lot of like levels from the earlier game and they reskin them in the second half of the game and go, oh, now play these again. And you're like, well, I just did that, and the story's over.
It's limited in a way.
It's very pointed, you know.
Sure. Okay.
And I have a little other like story critiques. I think the acting was not great. The guy that plays Spider-Man, it was very like, okay, so just very quickly, like he becomes Venom in this story. And so there's like maybe like 45 to 50% of the game, he's angry. I'm Venom Spider-Man. And even my son was like, why is he so mad? And I was like, I get it. And it's hard to explain because it's like a Venom storyline. Like he became the Venom Spider-Man. But then after all that happens, he's still like, oh, I'm so stressed about the game. The worst level of the game is Mary Jane Watson also gets Venom at one point, and she becomes like a Venom bad guy, and Spider-Man has to fight her.
Ooh.
And she's like, you never fucking loved me. That's like her whole Venom thing. She's like, you never fucking listened to me. I paid so many bills. And I was kind of like, damn, she's not wrong. Okay. Like, you know,
Peter Parker's broke as hell.
I mean, kind of. And so like, there was moments of the game where they were like asking me to empathize with Peter Parker. And I was kind of like, I don't know. And so that's all I wanted to say. I know I talked about it a lot, but Spider-Man 2, the second time, I was just like, not my favorite game. Okay. Luis.
I would be interested, sorry, real quick. I would be totally interested to get like a top 5 ranking of those games for you guys. And I'm sure like some of the same old titles might pop up, like The Last of Us or whatever, but like games that hold up upon repeated playing.
I mean,
and
without
like,
even knowing,
that groundbreaking and or fun to play, or you know, just like a good time or whatever.
If I had to go top 5 without knowing what the rest of them are, like Spider-Man 2 is definitely 5. You know what I mean? Like it's the bottom of that list.
Okay. But like you would have that one over the first one.
Yeah, Spider-Man might be 6. Okay.
Okay, I got you.
Last of Us 1 and 2 might be, you know what I mean,
1
higher
and 2.
That's what I would say.
Word.
Speaking
of The Last of Us, they had a new episode this past Sunday. What?
Are we doing it?
Yeah, we're doing it. Ed, have you not seen these Last of Us episodes?
No, I still haven't caught up yet. I thought
I was saying the text chain. Do you think I'm a fucking joke? Do you think what I'm saying on there is clownish? I'm telling you to fucking. We'll talk about it at the end.
I've been catching up on other things.
What's the last one you watched?
The first one.
Okay. Are you fucking serious? Okay, now you've upset all of us.
When the finale. Yeah, I'm really just saying it. So I'm trying to get Luis to yell and wake up his wife.
Don't get me in trouble, please. Okay, I'll talk about this. How about this? I'll talk about Red Bull. All right, recently at work they have Red Bull.
List.
Yeah, it is. Recently on at my office they have Red Bull watermelon, and I had to have it because they didn't have the regular Red Bull.
Yeah.
And you know what? I like it. That's it. Yeah. All right, who else is next?
Wait, hang on a second, because sorry, I can't believe you brought this up. I'm sorry, my bad. I love Red Bull. Okay, I would love more Red Bull at work. I would love an energy drink at work.
We have a Red Bull station at work. We're just like a little
because y'all are sponsored by Red Bull.
That's not good for you.
Yeah, but Ed, they have more than 15 people at work. You know what I mean? Some people need some Red Bull. Okay.
Yeah, we have like 80. But the thing is like I'm in a place in my life where I can't have coffee. I can't have all these things because it makes my tum hurt. 5 Hour Energy.
Red Bull?
But for some reason, fucking Red Bull
sugar free or not?
Definitely sugar. Don't give me that sugar free shit.
I love a sugar free.
I don't want that fucking aspartame shit.
I don't know if I've ever tried the sugar free one.
It's
literally been years since I've.
When I do road trips, I do the sugar free Red Bull.
I mean, I get it. My friend at work does that too, but I can't do the aspartame. Like,
yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
So Red Bull watermelon, I thought I'd doubt it, but I'm here for it.
What about the hang on, no, fuck off for a second. What about the white Monster? You ever had that?
Oof. No.
I've never drunken a Monster in my life, and I don't.
So white Monsters next week. You guys ready?
All right, let's do it. Review. We're gonna rank all the colors of Monsters.
Those things are just too much liquid in a Monster. You know what I mean? And it's like thin.
I was a NOS fan.
NOS, Ed?
Yeah, a NOS.
I have a family member.
I've never had it.
What? Now we gotta do it. Hey, what's up? This is Punch Drunk Nerd. We're having our energy drink ranking tonight.
No, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of wanted to introduce energy drinks at work, and Luis was like, "Oh, we have a guy who like buys all the snacks and the drinks," and I was like, "I'm about to be that for my office." And then I was shut down so quick, okay? And I was like, fuck, all right? I want energy drinks. I want chips. I want snacks.
Do you get coffee, Miguel?
Yeah, I buy the coffee. That's one of the things I buy.
What kind of coffee do you get? Maxwell House?
No, they are K-Pods. I get like a Starbucks Verona, the light colored blonde ones.
Yeah.
And then there's like a Pete's coffee, like dark roast.
Does your boss know that people get hungry and want a little snackage? Like,
I'm not going to talk about my job. So,
throw down. We're going to put his boss's Instagram, down below in the description. You can hit him up.
I would love to. I would buy all of your coffees. I would buy all of your Red Bulls. I promise, if I could. Okay.
Okay, and then I guess I'll keep going. The Studio, which is on Apple TV Plus. If you love movie making, this shit making me laugh.
I am so surprised. Like, I'm ready to hop on that show. I think
the season finale just aired. Now, I think the penultimate episode was funnier than the finale episode. To be honest. The penultimate one, I was like, haha, guffaw, help me. I need to go to the hospital. I'm laughing so hard. But I think it's just because, like, I'm in the industry. So, like, I get it, you know? So I'm having a good time.
Luis. You're
I'm in Hollywood. No, I'm just kidding. I work for an internet company.
It's a little bit more elaborate than that. So, an internet company. You're not a provider. You get to interview celebrities and cool shit like that.
Yeah,
and you get to focus on things that you genuinely enjoy, which is not something I do at my work. Let me tell you.
But you get to watch a lot of TV at work. Well, never mind. You don't get you work when you work, right?
I work so fucking hard from the minute I arrive all the time. To the it's just like I have so much extra time outside of work that I get to watch a lot of stuff.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
So speaking of watching stuff at work, this is real quick. I'm glad Miguel left for this. Not. Okay, so you guys know I like to dabble. I'm constantly trying to watch old and new movies. Mm-hmm. One that I've been begging for a long time on a certain account, but it's still the wrong one. I finally got to watch the Misfits. And this one, I thought he was about to peace out there for a second. So this one, it's kind of been like a white whale for me. It's a movie directed by John Huston, who's one of my favorites, like classic directors. It stars oh my fucking Christ, Marilyn Monroe, Clark Gable, and Montgomery Cliff, and fuck, what's his name? Sorry.
A few minutes later.
Thank you. Eli Wallach, famous from like The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and all of that. Anyway, so like why this was so special was, well, not special. It's kind of like it's a sad film. What I love about John Huston is he, even in like his really old films, like Bogart films, like he always brings a very kind of dark nature to his films. Like the dark side of humanity always shines through at the end of his films. It's always pretty rough, pretty depressing sometimes. But I mean, always so good. And he really gives like that kind of old Hollywood stars like Marilyn Monroe and Clark Gable opportunities to actually have juicy roles and stuff like that. And I think he's famous for that. But what makes this movie interesting was this was the last completed film of Marilyn Monroe and Clark Gable. Clark Gable died a week after this movie premiered, and she died maybe like a year later. And during this film, she was going through her divorce with Arthur Miller, who wrote the movie, and he incorporated a lot of her personal strife and details from her past divorce and stuff like that. And then Montgomery Cliff also died. He maybe did one or two other films, but he was going through similar problems of that Marilyn Monroe was going through. In that, like, he was, taking a lot of pills, was depressed, and all kinds of stuff. So, in that sense, in the grander sense, like, it's kind of sad seeing these three, big Hollywood stars who were in like personal turmoil, but they're here kind of shining in this movie. Anyway, it's out on Prime right now. It's also free on YouTube if you want to go check it out. For people who like love checking out older films that maybe you haven't seen before, if you want to see like a kind of different side of Marilyn Monroe. I mean, she's still very much Marilyn Monroe, but this is kind of like a heavier role than most of her other roles. So yeah, I'm glad I finally got to see it. And then swiftly, I've just been carrying on with the Rehearsal, which has been just wild each week. And then I got to watch Tom Hardy's Netflix film Havoc by Gareth Evans.
Whoa! All right, so and the worst movie. No,
no. You know what? Compared to a lot of these shooty uppers like John Wick and stuff like that, I will say this one had like two really good action scenes. Like the one towards the end, especially, was just like really good. A lot of fun, grisly action fighting. I will say though, this movie was drawn out, I think, because of both COVID and then these strikes. Yeah. And so there's like a car chase sequence at the opener that kind of throws you into the story. And all like it was all CGI. Like the cars were CGI and staged and stuff like that. And I was like, what the fuck is happening right now? It looks like a video game at the beginning. Now, there are some like gnarly things that happen during it, but like every time it cut to like a wide shot of the cars like turning fast on the street, there was no weight or gravity to it. There's no like material. You didn't feel the clash of materials. It was just like very
Can I ask something? Like,
yeah, go ahead.
Did you watch this movie because you were like, Tom Hardy's in it, let me watch this movie? Was it a Netflix movie, so you were like, let me watch this Netflix movie? Was it like an action movie, so I wanted to watch it? Here's a streaming action Netflix Tom Hardy movie, you know? Any one of these moments where you're like, this is where I want to watch, you know what I mean?
The draw was Tom Hardy and Gareth Evans working together.
Fair enough.
Because Gareth Evans is famous for The Raid and The Raid 2 Redemption.
But do you just find yourself like, are you like, oh, fuck yes, a Netflix movie? Like, I'm going to watch. Like that Ryan Reynolds movie he did a couple years ago.
Are you,
There's
like, you're saying
Chris
because...
Hemsworth, that Netflix movie he did a couple years ago. Like, are these like features you're like, hell yes, I cannot wait to watch?
I mean, sometimes it just depends on, again, who's collaborating for it. Like, you remember... We talked the other week about The Grey Man, which was a Netflix film, but I went to a theater to see, and that was because it was the Russo brothers and Ryan Gosling and Ana de Armas. I think it's just like how I approach any movie: the star, the director, and then in this case the genre. Knowing that it was Gareth Evans directing another action flick, that was exciting to me. So really all I took out of it was those 2 fight scenes. I will say like the rest was pretty straightforward, pretty generic. It was
like
fun.
If you were like, fuck, I'm so glad I watched this in theaters, or fuck, I can't believe I watched this in streaming. You know what I mean?
No, I was like, I'm glad I watched this in streaming and didn't
see.
I didn't see this as a theatrical release.
That's my problem. Is like there are really so few streaming movies that I'm like, let me watch this on streaming, let alone in theaters. And then like I think about Tom Hardy was in that car movie Lock, whatever. What was that? What was that, Ed?
Lock. Yeah.
It was a terrible movie, Ed. Okay. And I'm just like, yeah, I just don't subscribe to movies anymore.
I'm a little lost on what you're saying.
Yeah, no, I love to rile you guys up. No, I'm just being silly.
You are.
I mean, especially like, I don't know, like Netflix movies too. It's like I look at it and they're like, okay, these are just all the same.
Well, I mean, yeah, but then, obviously they have the big ones like The Irishman,
yeah, I like that one, yeah.
The Marriage Story. I'm blanking on it now, but I mean, obviously there are a lot of
it depends.
Film.
It depends on the art. Like if there's like an artist director leading it, then it has more of a say. But it's difficult when it's like other movies that are just like, okay, well, this just looks like everything else.
No, I totally get it because a majority of the time, most of their stuff is just content. Maestro, obviously, I just mentioned it earlier, but Maestro, that's a Netflix film. Yeah. So Roma, all these prestige films, as you will, Mitchells and the Machines. Like, I wish I had seen really Mitchells and the Machines is really it. Yeah, I would have loved to have seen that in the theater. But they also have a bad time gauging at what should and shouldn't be in theaters, but that's Netflix for you. So anyway, Havoc, whatever, 3 stars. If you want just like a lighthearted John Wick-esque gnarly action movie, this is a good punch 'em up.
I have a follow-up question.
Yeah.
Tom Hardy, does he speak in his normal voice?
Define normal.
Howdy.
I will say he's talking in his most normal American accent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like somehow Christopher Walken is normal,
No, he's special. Yeah, so anyway, that's what I've been into. You guys going to talk about The Last of Us now?
All right.
I mean, do you want to, Miguel, or we can wait? I mean,
I will catch up.
I'm thirsty. Sorry, let me get some water.
I mean, look, hold on. Miguel surprised me and told me that The Last of Us, the last episode is this week.
I kind of want to wait,
I guess we should wait. But Ed, you got to catch up all late before our podcast on Wednesday. I'm just kidding. You don't have to.
But we're also doing Mission Impossible.
No, I would say this though. No, it's not.
We might do like a special episode. We might do like how we do 2. Like
if I was burdened with the task of watching all of the Mission Impossible movies, he can watch The Last of Us season 2.
And I will do it.
And I will do it. Okay.
When have I ever let you down, man?
I'm already 2 in. Okay.
I watched 3 episodes of Andor and Rogue One.
Mission Impossible 2 is like the chips and salsa of the franchise, okay? Like, I'm ready to go.
So, yeah, we might. So next week we might do a special.
We haven't even touched on the good stuff yet.
So next week we might do, what's it called? Last of Us finale season. Who knows? And then we'll also do Mission Impossible for sure. Yeah,
for
I
sure.
guess we can wait.
Yeah.
I guess I'll just say
Hold
about
it
this.
in.
I'll just say I liked it. How about that?
Okay.
I liked it.
I am starting to see the divisiveness on the internet about the show.
And I'm going to talk about that, okay? Like, the fact that, okay, you know?
Same people being pissed off about nothing, I'm guessing.
No, it's not. That's the thing, it's not the same people. Let's talk later. All right.
We'll talk later. Tune in. We'll talk about The Last of Us very soon. But listen, thank you guys for listening to the podcast. Tune in next week. We're going to talk about Mission Impossible, Final Reckoning. We might have another episode talking about The Last of Us. Who knows? But you got to stay tuned to our socials, our YouTubes. Like it, subscribe it. And hey, it's been me, Luis Gonzalez, and with me's been
Miguel.
Ed.
And until next time, later, Gators.
Huzzah.